everyone. Thanks for joining me on Profit with a Plan podcast. This is where you can get some great ideas to create your most profitable self and small business by creating a financial plan. Join me, Marcia Riner, your certified financial planner and professional financial strategist, each Tuesday evening for a few smart ideas that can help you add more profits to your bottom line. My company, Bella Financial Group, we help small business owners and professionals every day with sound financial strategies to help them increase their profits. Reach out to me for a free 30-minute strategy session at Bella Financial Group or on my Calendly app, Marcia-16. So, first of all, I'd like to give a shout out to my sound tech, Vaughn Fahy, who is a master jazz saxophonist and the owner of Audio Newborn Productions here in SoCal, where he can help you create, mix, master your sound, or add some sound to what you've already got. I say this because I know my skill set and where my weaknesses are, and I'm smart enough to ask for help in areas that I know are not my skill set. Vaughn has helped me smooth out my sound from my very first podcast and is helping me create some starting music and ending music that will glam my podcast up a little bit. So thank you, Vaughn, so much for your guidance and making me sound a lot better. So reach out to Vaughn on his Facebook page at Audio Newborn Productions. Thanks, Vaughn. So let's get right on to podcast episode 2. We're calling this one, What's Your Plan? Really, what are you doing? What is your plan to increase your profits right now? So let me break it down a little bit into 4 different sections, and then we'll come back and get going. So the first section we're going to talk about is, what is your plan? The second one is, why is your plan so important? We'll talk about how do you create a plan that works, and then what do you do with your plan once you've got it? So, as we get rolling here, what is a financial plan? Well, who's it for? A financial plan is really not just for the rich and for the wealthy or the large corporations. A financial plan is even more important for those that are trying to make their dollars count. That's us everyday folks. A financial plan is really for us to make good, sound investment decisions, to make decisions with our money, where we put it, how we work it. It's really for us, the everyday people. So a financial plan is really a written out strategy for what you want to achieve. So now that we're in the beginning of the year and it is planning time for most of us, we look at plans for marketing, we look at plans for growth, we look at plans for sales, we look at plans for our staff, we look at plans for, how are we going to lose weight? I mean, we look at plans for everything. But do we look at plans on how we're going to spend our money wisely and put it over the entire focus of all of our planning? Not very often. We look at our plans in fractured ways. I'm going to do this plan for my marketing. I'm going to do this plan for my sales. I'm going to put it all here. But we really don't think about our money as our overlapping concept in every single thing that we do. So I'd like you to think about a financial plan as a written out strategy that's going to be the forefront or the design of your entire company. And that's really what a financial plan is. A financial plan can be worked on for short-term goals or long-term goals. I've got somebody that I follow, and I found that when you make a long-term goal, so say you say, I'm going to make that goal for 2019, and you make this gigantic goal that you're going to close X amount of business and you're going to have this amount of profits and you're going to increase your company size by 3 times or whatever it is. Those are grand goals that are often really hard to follow. A financial plan is great for those long-term plans, but they're even more important and more valuable when you make a short-term plan. And a short-term plan, as I've been taught and have been using regularly in my practice, is a 90-day plan. 90-day plans or shorter-term plans that you can achieve that goal, and you can even break it down into monthly pieces, periods to go along to improve that. But a short-term plan is something that you can make tactical strategies for, and you can move those strategies and make corrections along the way. And you can also feel the success of that plan or the not so successful plans in a faster time period where you can make those corrections. So as for a financial plan, it is so essential that maybe you break it down to a shorter term and say, I'm going to make a financial plan on my business, on my life for the first quarter of 2019. And then from there, you even break it down further and say, okay, for January, I'm going to do this. And for February, I'm going to do this. And for March, I'm going to do that. And it's all cohesive around your marketing, your financials, your income, your sales, your innovation, your expenses that you have coming out. It's all numbers, it's all money, and it's all a financial plan. A financial plan really isn't, and I feel strange that I have to keep educating this. A financial plan is not just investments. It's not just your retirement. It's your entire life. So let's move on a little bit and talk about why is a financial plan so important for everyone? And again, not just for the rich and famous and super successful in large corporations. If you remember in my first podcast, which was just last week, we talked about it's only money. But money means everything for everything that you want to do. As a business, as a small business, as a solopreneur, as a service practitioner, as an individual, money makes the world go round. So it's even more important to have a solid financial plan that tells you exactly what you need to do and how it's working for you and what changes need to be made so you can go on with that plan and make your life a lot more profitable, a lot more successful. And I had a challenge this week where I got a chance to listen to someone who I found has been very valuable. Her name is Sage Levine. And in her conversation, she wanted us to state our what we stand for, what is our real commitment. And I got a chance to say that today or yesterday, and it was super powerful for me. I stand for helping everybody that I meet make good financial decisions around their money so they can do what it is that they most want to do and take care of those that they love the most. How empowering is that? This is why a financial plan is so important. If you want to take care of the people you love and do the things that you want to do, you've got to have a plan. What is that a plan? It's a roadmap. You don't go anywhere without knowing where you are in the beginning and where you want to go in the end. And then how do you work all those pieces together to put it in place? That's a plan. A plan is a standard operating procedure, an SOP. It's a roadmap to get you to where you want to go. It is all the moving parts and having it written down in a strategy for you to follow on and then to come back and check back. So this is why it's so important that we, as people that want to be more successful financially, have a solid financial plan. It's because it's going to be all laid out for you. It's going to be a step-by-step process, and it's going to be something that you can follow. That's a plan. That's a roadmap. The other reason why this financial plan is so important is because, again, money is everything. You can't eat, live, take care of those you love, do the things you want to do without having that money. So all of your decisions are going to affect that financial plan, and that financial plan and the amount of money you have at the end of each month is going to affect all your decisions, right? So again, if we put together a solid plan, you can make good, smart, sound financial decisions, whether you should buy or lease, whether you should hire somebody, whether you should put your marketing in place, whether you should invest in innovation, whether you should, go after that client. Is that client going to be worth the money that you're going to be spending? All of these things are decisions that affect the money, and the money affects your life. That's why a financial plan is so important. I'm sorry for harping so much, but I'm passionate about it. So, how do you create a financial plan that really works? It all starts with where you are today. You have to know where you are, and you begin with where you are. Someone said to me just yesterday. Actually, I think it was Vaughn. You have to take one step, and one step leads to 1,000 miles. You can go, but you got to take the first step. So the first step in the financial plan is when you look at where you are today. It's taking inventory of everything you've got, your income, your assets, and assets are things that are of value, your expenses, your short-term needs, your long-term needs, your potential funnel for your income coming in. You lay it all out in a where are we today format. I hate to say it, but it is a budget. I know budgets have just a horrible feeling to them by many people, but a budget is just truly laying out your strategy and saying what you're going to do with it. So having a beginning will allow you to look at where you are and figure out what you've got and what you can do with that. The second step in creating a plan that will really work for you is knowing where you want to go. So having a dream, right? It's a goal. Those goals can be big. Those goals can be small. Those goals can be short-term. They can be long-term, but you have to know what it is you want to do so you can create the plan that will take you there. And, it is really that simple. So many of us we get bogged down and go, oh my gosh, there's just so much to do, or there's so many things, or even worse, you just blindly shoot and hope that you're going to hit that target. When you're creating the plan, once you know where you are and once you know where you want to go, it's just a simple step of working backwards and putting all of the pieces in place. It's business planning, but it's business planning and goal orientation around your money. So, to create the plan, know where you are, know where you want to go, and then work backwards and put all the pieces together that will get you to where you want to go. Now, as I said in the beginning, when I thanked Vaughn for helping me with my sound and, helping me future with how I'm going to grow my business, or grow this podcast rather, I thought to myself, how do I know what those steps are to get me to where I need to go? Well, I don't. I turned on the microphone and I just started talking. I didn't understand my program, how to make it sound better. So I went to the expert and I said, Vaughn, help me make my sound better. And with a few minor tweaks of an expert, I was able to make this sound better. And it will be an improvement every time you hear me. But it's going and using the skills of an expert, a mentor, a coach, to help you really improve your plan. So we can all design a business plan. We can all design a marketing plan or a financial plan. But do we have the skill set to really know what the important pieces are and steps to fill it in, to make sure that you're working efficiently and effectively and your money is working in the best way possible for you, so that when you know where you are and you know where you want to go, all those pieces to help you work backwards are set in place in a way that really launches you into more profits. So, now that we've got what is the plan, why is the plan so important, and how do you create a plan that really works, what do you do with it once it's done? I have to tell you, one of the most common problems that people have when they have a plan designed for them, whether it's business or financial or dieting goals or whatever plans you're working with, the biggest problem is that it's just a written plan. And it sits there and it's in a nice leather-bound binder and it's got all these factions and these goals and these projections and these targets, and it looks really pretty, but it's a snapshot of a moment in time. A financial plan is a living, breathing set of documents that needs love. It needs touch. It needs work on a regular basis. So what does that mean? It means it takes time. And it's not something that's shoved in the drawer and says, okay, here we go. We're off and going. It requires regular adjustments. It requires tweaks and check-ins and did I do this, or did it return? Did that investment in my marketing piece, as an example I keep using, did that marketing piece return me threefold, fivefold, tenfold? What was my return on that investment? So should I continue investing in that piece, or should I stop? Did that employee I hire increase my profits, or are they weighing me down? Financial planning is so important in every single aspects of our business, but it needs to be massaged and adjusted regularly. So once you've created your plan, you have to work your plan. You have to check back on that plan, and you have to make sure that it's still moving you in the direction you want for those goals. So it does take work. It's not a one and done kind of thing. The final piece of that is, who's going to hold you accountable? Do you have a partner? Do you have an independent third party that's going to keep you on track? Who's going to help you rub those numbers to make sure that they are working out the best way that it is? So you need to have a coach or a mentor or a partner that's going to help you make sure that you're adjusting your document and adjusting your track and making sure that you're tweaking it the best way as possible, and who's going to hold you accountable. Did you do what you said you were going to do? Or did you revert back into those old habits that maybe got you into the spot that you were in? Maybe you didn't spend the money that you were supposed to spend, or maybe you spent too much money on the endeavor that you weren't thinking about. You just reacted and spent money on it. The other thing about financial planning and doing with what you've got, it really does take that independent person to look at those numbers and tweak them out. It may be a tax strategy that you're not thinking about yourself because that's not your expertise, but you go to your tax planner, or you go to your business planner, or you go to your coach, or you go to your budget, and you tweak and you make those adjustments, and having that accountability partner to keep you on track, because again, it's a living, breathing document. So I'd like to recap, because I like to keep these rather short and impactful for you. So my topic today was, what's your plan, and what are you doing to increase your profits right now? We learned what a financial plan was and who's it for, and what it really was, and what kind of goals it takes to make that financial plan. we learned about why a plan was so important. And we reverted back to episode number 1, meaning it's only money and why is money so important in your life. And it requires that roadmap and how all of your decisions are affected by everyday moves and how that financial plan can keep you on track. Then we learned about how to create a plan that really works. Starting at step 1 of where we are and looking at those hard numbers, and then figuring out where it is you want to go and then putting it all in backwards. And then finally, once that plan is designed, what the heck do you do with it? Do you just shove it in the drawer? No, no, no. It's a living, breathing document that you're working on constantly, making adjustments constantly, and you're bringing in somebody who's independent that can help you stay on track. So that's my conversation for today on what is your plan and how to increase your profits now. So I thank you so much for listening to me today. I hope you found an idea or two to put into your business to help you be more profitable. Next week's show is going to be on breaking it all down from big to small, and it's really working on those goals. So I hope you can follow me and come back next Tuesday and listen to my Profit with a Plan podcast. You can catch me and follow me on all of my social media. My social media is basically Bella Financial on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, or you can hit me up on my website at www.bellafinancialgroup.com. And don't forget to subscribe below so you won't miss any future podcasts. Please make sure I'm not the best kept secret and share my podcast with your friends. So for one more thing, I'd like to make an offer for you as a gift for listening and giving me something that is so incredibly valuable, which is your time, is I'd like to offer you a consultation, a strategy session that's more individualized to you. And that strategy session would be, no sales, but just something, a tidbit or two that could be helpful for you. So reach out to me on my Calendly app at Marcia-16, or reach out to me on my social medias and hit me up and take advantage of a free service where I can offer you something of real value that you can implement into your business today. So, take me up on that offer, hit me up on my social media, and until next week, make your plans and profit with it. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to hear you or talk with you again next week.